But then yesterday, Kerr described how he was angry that the original comments were taken out of context, emphasizing that it was the stress level and injuries from that last finals run that made this season less enjoyable. So, Shannon, there's a lot there. Are you buying this explanation?
Yeah, I'm glad you called, but you said bull jive. Because that's what this is. Steve Kerr, you should be upset that you said it publicly, not that the guy tweeted it or put it out there. That's what you said. What did you expect to happen? You were around Kevin Durant for 3 years. You know he's ultra sensitive. You know he hears and sees all. What did you think his reaction was going to be when you said in a 15-50 season you had more fun than you had the previous season when you almost won the title? How did you think you were going to, Kevin Durant was going to accept that? And you know how I know? Because guess what, Skip? You spent that entire year walking around on eggshells. You guys did everything you possibly could to make sure Kevin Durant felt okay. Don't say this, don't say that, because we don't want to get him upset. We want to do everything he possibly can. And he also said the first 4 years as a head coach at Golden State were more enjoyable with no agendas. And the last year went a little haywire. Skip, the moment you signed Kevin Durant, everybody had an agenda. Your agenda was to keep this dynasty going. You knew without Kevin Durant, you were not going to continue to win NBA titles. Kevin Durant knew that gave him the best opportunity to win NBA titles. Everybody went in with an agenda. Everybody got their agenda accomplished. But you didn't need to say that, even if you thought it. Some things, Skip, you just take to your grave. You just like, you know what, man, this thing was miserable right here because we got to step on eggshells. That's why the hell you suspended Draymond. Because you wanted to show Kevin Durant, well, you the man. We ain't going to let Draymond talk to you like this here. We're going to suspend him because we want you to know we got your back. Even though Draymond had been there for the entirety, he helped build this thing. But you took that side. So, Steve, I don't know what you thought Kevin Durant was going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, I can see what happened. Nah, he going to be ticked off. You know how KD is. You were around him. And rightfully so. You mean to tell me, I get it. KD didn't come back. I'm sure you wanted KD back. But he wanted to go do his own thing. Let the man go. You got what you wanted out of this, Steve. Damn. Y'all gonna turn me into a bigger KD fan than LeBron fan. The way y'all keep beating him up.
True. And you should be. Because you know Kevin Durant is the best player.
See, there you go. See, that's why I can't talk with you. That's why I can't talk with you.
I got it. Okay, before I launch on this, just for the record, Steve Kerr did use his media availability before the game last night to just go off on this and say it was completely yanked out of context. So I listened to what he said, and he said, I was trying to explain that fifth year was just an absolute bear, which was the last year with Kevin. It was the stress level. This is what he said before the game last night. 2 season-ending injuries during the finals, obviously Clay and Kevin. DeMarcus Cousins also had a serious injury that took him out of the playoffs for 6 weeks. We had all kinds of stress. So he's saying that was the context in which he spoke.
Why didn't he say that during the interview?
Okay. Then Drew Schiller, who first tweeted out the quote unquote, out of context, according to Steve Kerr, is the game analyst for the Warriors G League team in Santa Cruz, the Santa Cruz Warriors. And so now he is profusely apologizing, saying, I was out of line, I messed this up. And again, I think he's fearing a little bit for his job because he works
he worked for the Warriors.
Yes. Okay, now to my conclusion about all this. First of all, it's funny about podcasts. You do a podcast.
Yeah, I do.
You can get somebody real comfortable on a podcast, and it's almost like they're just speaking to you, and they're not speaking to us. It's just to Shannon on his podcast, right?
Guess what, Skip? Guess where he's at? He's at home.
He's at home.
If I get you at home, you get comfortable.
Okay. But yet, if we had Steve Kerr from home on this show on live TV, I'll bet you he'd be a little more careful, and I don't think he'd quite go here. Because it's a dangerous place to go if you care about Kevin's feelings right now. And I'm not completely buying out of context because his point was still his point. It was a bear of a year, but underlying the injuries was the conflict with Kevin and Draymond and Kevin and Steph. And
Kevin coming back.
And Willie or won't.
That was the issue, Skip.
It was. And now it's funny, and Steve Kerr's a good guy, and everybody loves
like
him,
him.
and the media loves him. But he also, we talked about Kraft and Belichick learning how to live without Tom Brady. He is now learning how it feels to coach a team that doesn't have Kevin Durant and didn't have Steph last year and now doesn't have Clay or Kevin Durant, right?
Right.
And it's hard, man, because it's how not the other half lives, it's the other 29 teams live. And he just fell into, did Mark Jackson not teach that team how to play defense and how to win? Yes, he did. All the groundwork was laid by Mark Jackson, and Steve just fell out of the sky right into heaven. Oh, I'm coaching these guys? And it was quite a ride for him, right? Because you just crushed the world, right?
You got 2 top 5 players. You got one of the top 5 shooters of all time.
Yep.
You got a guy in Draymond that understands his role, can run the offense, can rebound, can assist. He's going to end up averaging more assists than points this year, Skip. But that's what you have. You trot that out there. They had Mike Brown thinking that he could coach. Mike Brown, they had Luke, Skip. You remember Luke Walton?
Do I?
Luke Walton went 39-4.
He did.
Luke Walton, they won 39 total games in 4 years they coaching the Lakers and another 2 years coaching the Kings.
Yep.
But he won 39-4. Man, look, he looked up and coming. Hell, I could have got him. I could have got him to 36-5, 36-6.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it.
This is what Steve Kerr says, Skip. What you want is a good vibe when you come into the gym every day. He didn't mention anything about no injuries. He didn't mention anything about Boogie. He didn't mention anything about Achilles or about an ACL tear. He says what you want is a good vibe, which is a clear indication he's taking a shot at Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant was right to the respond.
Yep, I agree. And yet, trust me, deep down, he misses going into that gym with that bad vibe because they were just loaded. Give me KD and Steph and Clay and Draymond, and let's see what happens, right?
Skip, any coach, as long as the guy's not being destructive and causing problems, there's a lot of guys, Skip. Everybody's not going to be a choir boy. Everybody's not going to be Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. But what you want, that guy go up there and raise hell on Sundays, give me that guy.
Yep.
Give me that guy that's a walking 28 and 9. That's what I want. I want Kevin Durant because I know Kevin Durant can get me buckets.
Yep.
When you see everybody say, I'm a bucket, I'm a bucket. No, that's a basket. He ain't a bucket, he's a basket.
Yep.
So Kevin Durant was right to respond because you were talking about, oh, you had more fun coaching 15 and 50.
Remember what he said? Hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? He's laughing at Steve Kerr.
I'm like, man, KD, you know me and you cool, KD. That'd be Skip over there be trying to gas me up, but I don't fall for that.
You are not cool with KD.
I'm cool with KD. Me and KD cool.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are.
No,
you be trying to gas KD. You be trying to gas me up to get on KD, but I ain't gonna do it.
KD considers you one of what he calls fanboys who just dote on
Well, as long as he don't call me a casual, he call me what he wants to, I ain't no casual. But Steve Kerr was out of pocket on this one, Skip.
Yeah.
He should have just, Skip, just leave that alone.
And finally, if Steve Kerr were really great at his job, might he have fixed that problem during that 5th year? Is it possible?
No, I think, but here's the thing. Is because KD didn't address it to the manner of their liking.
Yeah.
They wanted KD to say, KD wanted KD to say, hey, I'm back, bro. We're going to finish this thing out. We're going to get 4, 5, 6 of these things. KD's like, nah. But KD wanted, Skip, KD was never going to be accepted in Golden State like he is in Brooklyn.
Because of Steph Curry.
That's
simple. And once Draymond, I thought, crossed the line with him.
Yes.
And on the bench at Clippers, he called him the B word after they had a little conflict on the floor about who's going to bring the ball up. That was the beginning of the end. So he said, you called me that, and I'll never be him here. Right. I love Kyrie. I'm going to Brooklyn.
I use the analogy all the time, Skip. This is New Edition.
Yep.
Johnny Gill could outsing Ralph Tresvant, Bobby, Ricky, all of them. They couldn't see Johnny. But Johnny didn't grow up in the borough.
No.
He didn't grow up with them in the Massachusetts area.
Okay.
So he wasn't going to be accepted like they were. KD didn't come up with it. He didn't call when they were getting their eyes beat out. He came in after they went 73 and 9. So Golden State,
by the way, they requested his presence.
They requested his service.
Yes.
But he could have told them no. But look, the agenda was what it was. We want to continue this dynasty.
Yep.
I need rings. We can both get something out of the deal, but when we break up, Skip, hey, We go our separate ways. Skip, it's like a part of marriage. We get together, you become a billionaire, I become a billionaire. We separate. Okay, we cool. We both made what we wanted. We got out of what we wanted, Skip. I can't be mad at KD. KD shouldn't be mad at Steve Kerr, but Steve Kerr, you can't be mad at that man. That man got you. Come on now. We would look at Steve Kerr a lot different, Skip, if he only had one title.
Yep.
He only had one.
Kevin Durant won back-to-back